Welcome back to our special one-hour program. We're taking a close look tonight at the proposed budget repair bill.
And next we go to our panel of 4 area community members. News 8's Lou Hillman is live in our studio with them. Lou?
Well, it's no surprise that the partisan bill has divided lawmakers in Madison, but I think many people would agree the divide is just as heated out in Wisconsin communities. We're joined now by 4 of our community members. Let's just start out by a show of hands. Who would vote for the bill? So, 50-50. Tara Johnson, let's start with you. You're a county board member here in La Crosse. You've been an outspoken critic of Governor Walker's. Why wouldn't you vote for the bill?
Well, I think it decimates Wisconsin communities, Wisconsin working families, and it is an incredibly un-Wisconsin-like thing to do. I was very disappointed. I was hopeful that there would be some kernel of hope about negotiating, about being open to talking more about this budget repair bill, and there was none of that. It seemed, like Joe said, very much pretty much entrenched in the same position. I was not very warmed by the fireside chat that I heard tonight.
Well, and obviously this bill is still at a stalemate. The Senate Democrats are hiding out in Illinois. Governor Walker says if they don't return, he's going to have to start issuing layoff notices. So the question is what's going on now better than layoffs?
I think that is a tactic, a threat on his part, to claim that there will be layoffs. I think if cooler heads can prevail and there can be negotiations in a respectful, meaningful way, that neither of these things have to happen. I mean, it seems to me that there's room between this wrecking ball approach that's being taken, that the governor is offering, and an example like La Crosse County, where we just passed contracts that are 0% pay raises for 1-year contract, and we did it with our negotiating employees. We did not have to bust unions to get that accomplished. It seems to me there's middle ground between those two extremes.
Let me go to Dave. I see you kind of shaking your head a little bit. You're a conservative. You're chair of the Citizens for Responsible Government. Let me just get your thoughts. What do you think about what the Senate Democrats are doing right now?
Well, I think they're acting like school kids. They're running and hiding rather than facing what they are. I find Tara's comments rather strange that there should be negotiation. I'm sure she was very critical of the House and Senate federally when Obama just pushed through the Obamacare with no input and information from the Republicans at all. He said, "We won, so get lost, Republicans." And I guess essentially that's what's happening here. The Republicans are in control. Face it. Get on with it, as the Republicans did, and maybe the next election the Democrats will come back as the Republicans did federally.
Well, the unions have come to the table and said we'll accept the financial concessions that the governor wants us to make. Why can't he come to the table and make a compromise and change his position on the collective bargaining?
I see no reason for him to do that. He dealt with that as a county executive for 3 years. You just heard him, or 3 terms, as he just said. Why should he give that up? There's no reason to give that up. He cannot properly deal with it if he doesn't get those concessions as well.
Bill Feehan, another La Crosse County board member and chair of the La Crosse County Republicans. I want to get your perspective on this. Governor Walker says eliminating collective bargaining will make it easier for counties and cities to put together a budget. You've seen this firsthand on the county board. Why does the union contract part of it and the collective bargaining make the budgets, in your opinion, such an unknown from year to year?
Well, I think the challenge we have is that although we had success this year, if we look at the last contract we had, that gave our county workers 3.5% annual increases in wages and benefits for 3 consecutive years. And I bet the people at home are saying, geez, I didn't get those kinds of increases in wages and benefits. And part of that collectively bargained agreement allows them to bank up to 10 weeks of vacation time and 50 sick days, and then be compensated for that at the time of retirement. Furthermore, most of the people that I know working in the private sector saw a lot of their friends lose their jobs, and we haven't eliminated any jobs at the county government in the last few years. And
we have a balanced budget, and we have the 5th from the bottom lowest tax rate, and we have top-notch quality services delivered by quality employees. So
Right.
what is it that you would change? We collectively bargained for those increases, and we've been successfully collectively bargaining, including what we passed last night. And La Crosse County's in great fiscal shape. Very different than the
It's
state.
an issue of fairness, Tara, and we've raised the county property tax on average 5.25% for the last decade.
And what's the revenue from the state then during that
people's
time?
incomes are not keeping up.
Right.
We
And
cannot
why is that
continue
happening?
to raise people's taxes faster than their wages are growing. It's unsustainable.
What's causing
we
those
have to face
property
the
tax
spending,
increases
we have
is
to
state
face
revenue
the
being
spending
cut
crisis. We're not
for
taxing
decades.
too little. We're spending too much.
Let me stop you
Decades.
guys here for a second. One of the things, we've taken hundreds, and that's not even an exaggeration, of phone calls and emails from viewers. One of those came from Bob Schlosser. You're a retired Department of Transportation engineer. You kind of told us that you feel like you're not getting the answers from your elected officials.
Well, I watched the newscast last night, and I sure felt that way, that I didn't get answers. One of the things that is important to me that doesn't seem to ever come out in these discussions is the fact that, yes, state employees get good benefits, but if you look at their total compensation package, they fall below what the private sector earns. And I have seen that posted many places. As far as
And you told me on the phone this afternoon, you feel that Governor Walker's trying to bust unions.
Oh, I think he is. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I saw an article in today's paper that quoted someone from the Wisconsin Municipalities Association, from someone from the Counties Association, someone from the school district administrators, and they all said that they felt that they did not ask for or need anywhere near what Scott Walker wants to do with collective bargaining in the state.
The rest of the panel, is he busting unions? Is he trying to bust them?
That's the one piece that they defended. Dave's comment was, why shouldn't he get to do it? He got elected in November. We're in the majority this time. We get to do whatever we feel like doing. The difference is collective bargaining in the state of Wisconsin has been in place for almost 50 years. It is a tradition, and it has been very effective in making sure that we have qualified, well-compensated employees who deliver services day in and day out at the state, county, city, school level.
Dave.
And to say, because November's election was not a referendum on collective bargaining. That was not what people voted for in the November election.
Dave, we've got about a minute, real quick.
Well, first off, I must compliment Walker again. He was unflappable, stood his ground, said exactly what he did in the campaign. This is baloney from Tara. Now, I must
Thank you,
compliment Channel 8 for running the comparison of Winona schools and La Crosse schools. Very factually, without editorial comment. It's ridiculous. What the employees here are not paying compared to other places.
Let's just send you guys out on this thought. Were there any surprises tonight, or did you hear from what Scott Walker, what you thought he was going to say?
I heard the governor say that he's standing his ground, and it's absolutely essential that he does that. Even with these measures, we're going to be facing tax increases and lost jobs in our county later this year.
The wrecking ball will continue to be driven on.
The stalemate continues. We really do
Right.
appreciate everybody joining us here
Thank
tonight.
you.
I did
Thank
not
you.
hear him say when he was campaigning that he planned to take away collective bargaining rights. I don't believe that was anything that he talked about at that time.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll send it back to you guys in Studio A.